Okay, today we're going to start a new project in art, but we're going to learn about tracing a letter and making that into a shape that we can color or with color or gradient or the gradient fill or even a picture. So of course I'm connected to the server already. I'm going to open up Pages, and remember when we're working in art we're going to work with a blank page layout. I want to go ahead and double click on the tall one. I want to be able to see my whole canvas, so I'm going down to the bottom and changing the percent from 150 or 125 to 100. And then I want to save this to my art folder, so I'm going to go to File, down to Save. Remember the path, we click on ODM, then our name, then our art folder, and then we want to title the project. And remember, in art we always type in our class period, our last name, our first initial, and then whatever the project is. And this one is going to be letter. So again, your class period, your last name, first initial, and then type the word letter, then go ahead and hit save. I want to go ahead and put a text box on my paper, and I want to type the letter D in that box. And then I want to click away from the box and then click back on it so that I see the handles, because I want to enlarge that box to fill a good portion of my paper. I'm going to highlight the D now, and up here where it says size 12, we're going to change that to size 288. Now that's not large enough, so I want to make it even larger, but because 288 was the largest I could make it in the pull down, I'm going to actually click in the box that has the 288. I'm going to delete the 288 and I'm going to type in 400 and hit return. With my D still highlighted, I want to select a font that I like besides the default Helvetica. So I'm going to scroll down and find a font that I like. And it does not matter what you choose, but keep in mind that you will be tracing, and the more curls and curves there are, the harder it will be. So you want to pick something that you like, but maybe something that's not real detailed, at least for this first lesson. Okay, I'm going to click away from that D now. Yep, I like it. Now I need to change the color, so I am going to highlight it one more time. I'm going to go to my inspector, to the T tool, and where it says color and alignment, I'm going to click on the black, and I want to choose a shade of gray. And then I'm going to click away. Now I'm going to go and get my tracing tool, and remember from previous lessons, it's under shapes at the very bottom. And I'm going to begin tracing. And I'm just going to follow the outline of the D. Remember when I'm tracing that if it's a straight edge, I can make bigger clicks, but if I'm on a curve, I'm going to make littler clicks. And again, I'm going to stop on the first point that I drew. And I know I'm on that first point because when I click on it, the little white circle appears beside my tracing pen, so I know I'm actually at the starting point. And when I click on it, I get one continuous line that makes a solid shape. Now I've got to go back and trace the inside as well. And I'm just going to begin, and remember, because it's a curve, I'm going to take little strokes. And remember, if you make a mistake when you actually trace, you can go to Edit, Undo, or Command Z, and it will undo the last thing that you did so that I can make my curve nice and smooth. No sharp points on a curve. And I want to stop again on my starting point. And now I have two distinct shapes. Now the next thing that you want to do is we need to get rid of the actual D that we typed. I'm going to click into an empty space down here on my paper. Then I'm going to click kind of close to my D, but not on it, just kind of close. And now I see that box that I used to type the letter D in. And now I'm going to go to my keyboard and hit the delete key, and notice that the gray D goes away, and now I just see my two lines that I used to make a shape. Now, in order for me to move this, I need to make it a group. If I try and move it now, notice that it doesn't take the middle part. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to undo that and get it back to where it wants. And I need to make this a group so that it will move together. So I'm going to actually click up here in an empty space with my mouse, and I'm just going to drag with my mouse across the whole thing, and notice that it selects both parts. Then I can go to Arrange on my menu bar and choose Group. And now when I move it, it's one shape. So I want to make sure that it's at least up here in the corner, because I need to put 4 of these on my paper. Okay, so I'm going to, and I don't want it to be right on an edge, because if I put it real close to an edge, if I were going to print it, it would cut some off. So you want to give yourself a little bit of a margin. Then I'm going to go to, with it selected now, I've got my handles, I'm going to go to Edit on the menu bar, down to Duplicate. Notice that if I use the Command D, it does the same thing on my keyboard. So I've got Duplicate, and then I'm going to click away, and then click on the line and slide it over. I have to click on a line because right now it's not a solid shape, it's just a line. I'm going to Edit, Duplicate again, click away, click on one line, and then I'm going to Edit, Duplicate again, click away, then click on the line and slide it over. And now I end up with 4 Ds on my paper. We're going to start with the first D. And I want to go to my inspector tool, which is already open, but I want to go to the graphics inspector where the green square and the blue circle are. I'm going to click on that, and notice that I don't have a choice to fill it right now. The reason is because it's a group. I have to ungroup it first. So I'm going to go back to Arrange and ungroup that D now. Now I have 2 distinct boxes, but I'm going to click away and select only the big circle, only the big part. And I'm going to go to where it says Fill now, and I'm going to choose Color Fill. Right now it's white. I'm going to click on the white, and then I get to pick a color that I like. Notice that it fills both the inside and the outside. We are going to have to select the inside now, go back to Fill, and right now it says None. If I choose Color Fill, it shows me that it's currently purple. I'm going to click on purple and go down to my color box and choose white. I'm going to go to my next D. I want to ungroup it again, ungroup. Remember, I'm going to click into an empty space, then I'm going to click on the outside, and this time I want to do a gradient fill. So I'm going to pick the white first, and I'm going to pick a color that I like. Then I'm going to pick the gray and find another color. And remember, at this point you can mess with the angle if you want. Okay. Then I want to go to the inside, and again, right now it's not filled with anything. That's why we see the whole color fill, but I want to change it from that color that's inside. Right now it tells me it's green. I'm going to click on that green and choose white. Whoops. Pick the green and choose white. Okay, the next D, I'm going to click on it. Again, I've got to ungroup it. Click away. Click on the line. This time I want to go to the Advanced Gradient Fill. I want it to be at least 4 colors. You can have more. And then I'm going to click on each color and change the colors to something that I like. Okay, and again, you can play with the angle of that and even the orientation, but keep in mind that that center part's not going to show up. So that radial fill may not be very appropriate for this one, okay? Because then I'm going to fill the middle part, color fill, pick the middle. It's turquoise right now, and I want it to be white. Now, the last D I want to fill with a picture, and we're going to go ahead and use an image that we already have in our folder. And I know we have a moon, a starry night, a Van Gogh, and some of you may actually have a few other pictures. I don't care what you pick. One of the pictures that's already in your art folder is fine. But we're going to do the mask with this one. Remember, we could click on it and ungroup it, of course. Arrange, ungroup, and then click away, and then click on it. If I went to the image fill, which is an option, And actually, let's go ahead and do this. I want you to go ahead and pick an image. We're going to look at it and see if we like it. So we're going to go to our folder, the ODM, to our folder, to our art folder, and you're going to see things that you could put in there. I'm going to go ahead and put that a cardinal in there from when we were looking at cardinals. I'm going to go ahead and hit open, and I don't care how that fills it at all. I am going to try to scale to fill and see if that works. But I don't really think I like that either, because when I fill the inside with white, my cardinal gets lost. So I really don't like that. So I'm going to undo, clear back to there's no color. So I'm just choosing that first until I get back to the white D. And this time I want to go to my folder, and I'm going to do that mask that we did before. So I want to find my art folder, and I'm going to go to the cardinal that I just used. What's that one? And I'm going to drop it, and remember that line has to turn blue. There, the line is now blue, so that cardinal picture is going to go in that D. And then I'm going to close this window. Now remember, this is a mask, so if I double click on that, now I get to see the whole big cardinal. I can kind of see him back there in the background. I want to pull him over so he's visible on this edge of the D, but he's still way too big, so I'm going to actually resize him. So I'm going to get one of the handles that I see and pull him down so that I can get him to fit in that D like I want him to fit. So I'm just resizing it, and then I'm sliding him over till I can see him on an edge of the D that I like, and it's not going to cut him off. Now, because I want to make this one just a little bit different, I'm going to go ahead and put my cardinal right there on that edge, and then I'm going to change the middle of my D this time to be a little bit funkier so that I can still fill it with white, but now my D and my picture fit splendidly in this instance. So now I've got the inside selected. I'm going to go ahead and go to color fill, and it automatically went to white, but if there was a different color in there, I could change it there. But now I do see a problem. Do you see where my D isn't nice and round down here? I'm going to go ahead and click on that picture again, and I probably need to double click and slide it down just a little bit so that it fills my whole space. Now, that looks better. Now, there's one thing missing. I don't have a dark outline around this D like I do this. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on. So I'm going to click on that shape, and right here where it says stroke, I'm going to go from none to line, and then I can pick the thickness, and it's probably a 3 or 3 point, maybe it's a 2 point, but you can pick the thickness that you want. I'm going to go back to 2 because I think that's what the rest of my D's are. And that completes this project. So we have color in one, we have a gradient fill in one, we have an advanced gradient, and then remember I used the masking tool where I actually went to my folder and drug the picture onto the D, double clicked, resized the image so it fit into the D the way I wanted, and I did move my center of this D around just a little bit in order to help me display the image better. You're going to go to File, Save a Version, Pages, Quit Pages. This window comes up, you're going to hit OK, and then you would log off the server and you're done.